Welcome back, you guys. My name is Legit Lee, and today I just wanted to show the next person trying to use a laser diode for their 3D printer or their CNC machine. So if you're using a 3D printer motherboard like the one I have, any of the MKS Gen L motherboards, the version 1 that I have, or V1, and if you use like a Arduino Mega with the Ramps 1.4 shield, this should work for your machine. So if you have a laser diode like I do, that I've been showing you guys in the last few videos that I made with my Blender CNC machine that I had built, I just been using Inkscape. I used Inkscape before, but I had to basically kind of reteach myself about how to use it. So we're going to bring up a new Inkscape real quick. So I'm going to bring up a new one so you guys can see how I do the progress. And I'm going to show you everything for my machine. And my machine uses 630 millimeters on the X and 460 millimeters on the Y. So you have to make sure you know exactly how your 3D printer or CNC machine, the space that you need or that you have for the requirements, basically. So we have a new open document 1 here. So we're going to go to, you can see that this is a regular size of piece of paper for like a regular printer. If you're printing out like information for like a business or something, but you can go here, go to File, go down to Document Properties, and then you see it opened up another window. So we're going to move that over so you can see, and then you're going to highlight this. You can see right now it's for A4 size paper, but we're not A4 size paper right now. So I got, this is in millimeters because that's what my machine uses. All 3D printers pretty much use millimeters, not inches. They use metric. So now the width is the X basically. So we're going to hit to delete that out. And then we're going to put 630 millimeters on the X, or the X. And then the Y is height. So that would be 460 for my machine. So if I hit enter again, then it brings out all these .0 stuff, but it doesn't matter, it's the right size. So this is the bed plate basically of my CNC machine, or 3D printer if you want to call it that. So now that we have that, we're going to go to View, Zoom, go over to Page, and it zooms us in to just showing the page or the bed plate of your surface. So now we're going to go over to, real quick, I'm just going to get an image on here. So we're going to go to File, go to Import. So over here I already have, see laser pics, I already have a file for it. So if I just go down, you'll be able to see over here on this side what the image looks like. So I'm going to go to this one. This is Goku, a young Goku from Dragon Ball Z. You can see right here. So it's him holding up his hand about to do like a punch. So I'm going to hit open. You see it pulled up right here. And it looks pretty well made for the most part. But I was having an issue. You can see that it's kind of looking in the opposite direction. So I'm going to just show you really quick that I had to adjust my information here. You can see this one is looking a little different because I already set it up. But I'm going to put that back down. And I'm going to show you how I set everything up here. So first, I need to make sure that I'm going to be laser engraving basically in the right direction or right location. So this is we have the mouse pointer already on. So if I click over here, you see that it's not selected. If I click it again, it's selected now with the lines on it. So now if I go to X right here, we're gonna change this to 100. 100, enter, and that moved it over to the 100 location on my bed plate basically. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for the Y. We're gonna go over to 100 just to make sure. So 100, enter, and that moved it up a little bit. So now that should be pretty good for the most part. So now what I'm going to do is go to path right here. You see that says PATH with an underscore underneath the P. So I'm going to hit path, and then we're going to do object to path, or you can use on your keyboard Control C would do it. So object to path. So now the program knows that this is the location that we want to make sure that we're going to be doing our laser engraving basically. So now that we have that, we're going to go to extensions, and now I'm going to go down to generate laser G-code, and over here there's another little arrow that goes over to JTech Photonics laser tool. So now we have that selected, and then it popped up this another window. And when you're using your 3D printer, and the laser on the 3D printer, it uses the fan, the part cooling fan for when you're 3D printing. So that is for maximum power. It's going to be throwing out M106, and to shut off the fan, it will be M107. So M106 will turn the laser on, and M107 will shut it off. And the printing speed or travel speed is at 12,000, which is actually pretty good for my machine. And this is the laser speed, which is at the same amount, 12,000. So I have my heat or my power for the laser is set at 150 for my laser. I have a 5 watt, I believe, laser diode. So if I do 255 like it shows here, that will be maximum power, and that will probably be too much, and it'll probably be trying to cut through my cardboard basically that I'm using. So I'm doing 150 instead of 255, and I'm only doing one pass because I don't want to cut through it. I'm just trying to basically print the or engrave on my cardboard. So I have this set to Goku 38, but I'm going to change that to Goku, I'll just say 42. And I have the directory for when this file gets sent. It's going to go to my documents, and it's going to be laser. It's going to say laser G-code, I believe. So I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to generate the information really quick. It's going to take a few seconds for it to for the program to generate the information that it's going to need to make the G-code that you need. So when it's done, you'll see these little it's going to show basically another drawing of the Goku picture that we have here. And then once that's done, you'll see a whole bunch of there it goes, little black information here. So it's looking below, basically it's going to show below what the build plate is showing, but that is actually the right information. It's just a little strange. I don't know why it does that, but I have tested it out a lot, so that is actually accurate for the most part. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to bring this down, and then we're going to go to my files here so we can show you that it's on here. So we just typed in 42, that was 40, but we got 42, we just made this one. So you're going to need two programs. So you're going to need to have Inkscape, and I would recommend you getting Notepad++, because if you need it, what I'll do, I'll put a link in the description for both of the programs, so that way you could download them, and they're all free. So you can see right here I have edit with Notepad++. So if I click on that, you'll see right here I need to adjust this a little bit. It's not much because my Z height needs to be at 50 millimeters for the laser. So it's at 20 right now, so I'm going to take out the 2 and put a 5 instead. And then I'm going to go to File, hit Save. And now that should be saved, so I'm going to close this out. And we could double check by just right-clicking, and then we're going to hit Open with Notepad++, so you can see it again. And you can see right here it shows Z at 50 millimeters high. So now what I'm going to do, because I already have my SD card for my LCD for the CNC machine, or 3D printer basically. So I'm going to go to over here to the location where it's at. So over here we got 42, 40. I tried 40 already, so that one actually worked pretty well. So you can see on here we got 40, so I'm going to leave that there, but we're going to use 40 too, because we just made this one. So I'm going to drag that over to this one. And now you can see whenever the G-code gets generated, it throws out this underscore 0001 or 0002, depending on how many you got. It'll change the number at the end, but I'm going to rename basically and take off all those numbers other than the 42, because I'm going to save that one. And then before we take the SD card out, I'm going to double check just to make sure. I always like to make sure that my information is correct. So I'm going to bring up Notepad++ again just to make sure we're at 50 millimeters high, and it does still show it, so that's right. So now we're done with this. So now I'm going to go back to this PC, and then you can see right here I have my removable disk, which is the SD card. So I'm going to right click again, and then I'm going to hit eject so that I can take it out. So now it's gone basically. So I'm going to bring this down, and then I'm going to take out my SD card. So that's going to be it for this part 1 basically. Part 2 of me using Inkscape is just going to be me showing you my